Hello, it's Robert Trout. It's June 19th, 2026, and I know it hasn't been all that long since I posted, but I got a couple things that I'm excited about to show you today that I thought you might be interested in seeing, so here we go. First of all, there's been a few questions about how to make an incubator box, and I thought what I'd show you today is just exactly how I made my own. First of all, we're going to be doing a few little experiments here today. So I've got an instant read thermometer. This is the thermostat for my heating pad. You try and keep it around 32 there. We'll talk about that later. And inside the incubator box, you can see I've got my queen box. And if you recall, that has the two chromatic aster queens in there from actually last September. And this is part of the reason why I decided to make this incubator box, because it's been kind of cool, and these queens haven't had anything to eat since then, and they're trying to raise brood, and I thought a little bit of help might not go amiss. So I've got this small heating pad. It's a very small one. It doesn't even go across the whole box, but I was able to find that at a yard sale in a frog startup kit. And it just plugs directly in, and there's no thermostat on it or anything. So I thought, okay, let's just see what this will do. And unfortunately, this instant read thermometer is in Fahrenheit, but anyway, it'd be nice to be consistent. Let's just have a look, see what this temperature gets up to in there. And while we're waiting for that, I'll just explain these Camponotus queens. I'm not going to put them in the incubator box because, Camponotus queens really, all they do the first year is produce a batch, their first batch of nanitics and sometimes workers. And once they do that, they sort of shut down and wait for hibernation. So I don't think they really need to be sped up, because this is only like sort of the middle of June. So 95.5 degrees is the temperature right there on top of that box. And let's see, 95, 96 is equivalent to about 35 degrees centigrade, 35. So that's about 10 degrees warmer than what you see inside the incubator. It says it's 25 there. So I thought now what I would do is just take this box, incubator box, off the heating pad, and let's see what the temperatures are like inside. All right, I've taken the lid off the incubator box, and I just wanted to point out a few things before we delve any further. First of all, you can see this shameful mess of newspaper that is on the bottom. It's obviously moldy and needs to be replaced tonight, which I will do before I put these away. But anyway, I wanted to point out that this box has been sitting directly on top of that heating mat, but the queen box itself, I've got that sitting up on a couple of pieces of styrofoam that's just cut from a meat package, just from the bottom. And so it's there. The queen box itself has not been sitting on the bottom, and that newspaper provides a little bit of insulation as well, just to temper the change of temperature from, the heating mat. And basically, the air in the incubator box is what heats the queen box. So let's just take the queen box out and have a look, see what's going on in there. So the temperature inside the box, as you can see, there's 76.4, pretty close to the 77 that it was at before the room temperature. So this is inside the queen box. Now, a couple of things you notice. On the right hand side, I've got them sort of propped up a little bit higher on the one end than the other, and that's partly to help reduce flooding, because all they really want that water to do is just kind of lick that cotton at the bottom, and that reduces the chances then of flooding, because water can't run uphill. So You may get a little bit of flooding, but it won't just absolutely flood the whole test tube if there is a problem. So that's one little trick that you might be able to use to your advantage to prevent flooding problems. Okay, so with the cover pulled back, you can see that there isn't really any problem with flooding in there. Maybe a bit of excess condensation at the top that wasn't there before, but it doesn't appear to be causing the queen any grief. She seems to be quite happy there, so I'm quite happy to see that. Alright, well, I didn't check the other queen because, as you know, I don't like disturbing them too much, and if what's true for one, I hope is true for the other. So I'm going to put this all back together again with some clean newspaper in the bottom of that incubation box, and I think I'm quite happy with that experiment. I guess the one thing I want to point out is that really it's not that cold in this room right now, as I have been heating it with an electric heater, so the change in temperature wasn't that great. But if it can stay at a constant 25 when the temperature in here goes down to 20 or 19 or 18 or something like that while I'm away, then I'm not going to have to worry too much about it. So I've got one more thing I want to show you that I'm pretty excited about, and that'll be coming right up. This is pretty rough and ready and sort of in the planning stages, but I wanted to show you a little project that I'm working on. I've got a couple of planters here that we usually just have sitting in a back window. They're succulents and don't really require a whole lot of attention. But since last year, these plants have been afflicted with a scale insect that you can see there. The older ones usually are covered with this brown cover, and some of them may be alive. They more likely are dead. But the younger ones, I'm sure just how easy it is to see them on that stem there, but there are sort of those light green patches there. That's the young ones, and they produce quite a bit of honeydew. And so my intention is to basically do something like using this boot tray for a moat around it. And it's got no drainage holes in the bottom of this container, so I don't have to worry about flooding the plants, but I could set them on a piece of wood as well, like on the right there. And what I hope to do is also put a Lasius neoniger colony in there on a piece of wood and let them milk these scale insects and just see how that goes. And I don't know if they're going to dig into this substrate, probably, but who knows. I'll try and make the tube going out there. I have a restrictor that will only allow the workers to go past, not the queen, so hopefully she'll at least stay in the original nest. And if that works out real well, I might even try this bigger planting, which also has some of those same succulents in it, and maybe put in an even larger colony, because I'm just going to put one of my smaller colonies in here, one that isn't going to be too hard to dig out of that substrate if they do decide to dig themselves into the soil. So anyway, that's sort of a little bit of an experiment I want to try, and yeah, if you like that idea, let me know, and updates on that will be coming up. Bye now.